ایماله
Only that, again, we have had the alert system on the phone. I was explaining that the Israelis now have the capability of basically taking over the entire cell network in a moment of national emergency to send out a warning to everybody in Israel that there is an incoming threat. Now, that has happened a couple of times today. It happened twice in the early hours of this morning as those Israeli attacks happened in Iran. The expectation being that Iran would respond immediately. They didn't. And then it happened for a third time about an hour ago, but nothing has happened. The Israeli military spokesperson was giving a briefing from the Ministry of Defense in Tel Aviv. I'm just being told that there might be something in the air. I'm just keeping a lookout for air defences. Yeah, I can see now just a solitary. No, there's a couple of air defences coming up now. No booms of interceptions, but if ballistic missiles have been fired from Iran, it takes only a matter of minutes for them to arrive here. Yeah, so there's a couple of interceptions, but no sirens have sounded yet, I should say. We've had the alert on the phone telling people to stay close to bomb shelters, as people will now be doing. But there are no alerts, no sirens. Normally, you'd expect sirens to start sounding around Jerusalem and around central Israel, like Tel Aviv. But I can see just a couple of, they look like sort of comets almost in the dark night sky going up there. And then you'd normally hear the boom of an interception, but none of that at the moment. And it seems to be, at the moment, fairly limited. So we'll just keep an eye out on that. But the reason the alerts were sent out on the phone was because missiles had been detected being launched from Iran. And that is, of course, what everybody has been expecting all day, for the Iranians to launch a major response. Let's just wind back. October 2024, Iran launched 300 ballistic missiles at Israel. And that was a major, major event. And the expectation was that something similar would happen this time around. So I think the Iranian regime has been in some disarray today, reeling from the attacks that the Israelis have carried out in waves throughout the day. I can see just behind Jerusalem's old city a number of interceptor missiles rising to the sky there. Two count. I don't know whether you can make them out on the camera. They're really just streaks of light. You can see one's now got a sort of a streak of flames behind it. As I say, they look a little bit like comets rising up into the sky. It can be very at night time. And this is, well, the third Iranian attack on Israel that I've experienced. April last year, October last year, and now. And of course, we've had a lot of attacks from the Houthis, from Hezbollah as well, from Hamas. And at night time, it can be very difficult to get your bearings and to understand sort of the geography of what's going on. So sometimes, these interceptors and these missiles can seem as though they're very close, but actually it's happening much further away. It's very difficult to understand exactly what is going on. More interceptors now coming sort of kind of from northern Jerusalem. And still, I have to say, no sirens sounding. Loads more coming over the top of me right now. I don't know whether Finn can pick it up on his camera. We can see them. I've heard no booms of interceptions, but I can see a whole series of the Israeli interceptors into the skies. Now, we talk about the Iron Dome a lot. That is, I suppose, there we go, the siren's now sounding. We talk about the Iron Dome. That is a missile defense system, incredibly effective, but really most useful against the sort of missiles that Hamas have in their stockpile and Hezbollah. When it comes to ballistic missiles, which is, I think, what we are looking at now, it's a different system called the Arrow system, and also they've got the David Sling system as well, and they can engage ballistic missiles that come in much, much faster, much, much higher up in the sky as well, and carry a far heavier payload. So it's a different system that they use to intercept, but has been very effective. You've also got the American THAAD system, which is in Israel at the moment to provide an extra layer of defense. Let me just let you listen to what's going on here. You might be able to hear the thud of interceptions as well.